Hi, it's Jamie Thomas with Clickthemouse.
And I'm Brad.
He's my husband. And today we're here to talk to you about Maxpass at Disneyland. We just got back from our recent trip to Disneyland, and we hadn't experienced yet the Maxpass. So I don't think people call it the Maxpass.
Maxpass, the
Maxpass. So we figured it would be a wise decision to pass on to you guys some of the tips, tricks, and information we learned about Maxpass and how it works.
The big question is, well, what is Maxpass? Brad, Jamie, what are you guys even talking about? It's basically an upgraded FastPass system at Disneyland. For those of you that don't know, the FastPass system, very, very simple. Everyone gets it free. When you go to Disneyland, you can take your park ticket to specific e-ticket attractions, scan your ticket, and then it'll give you a return time, print you out a return time that says you can come back at this time and skip the line.
Yeah.
Basically, Maxpass allows you to do that from your phone for either parks for a fee. Now, there's a lot more to it than that, Jamie, so let's get into some of the specifics. Maxpass works, as Jamie already said, $10 per person per ticket. Now, what is included in the Maxpass when you purchase it? Well, you can add your FastPass reservation for any one of the rides that are included at either park. Doesn't matter which park you're in. So if you're park hopping for a day, great way to get maximum use of the FastPass system. On top of this, and this is actually, to me, one of the biggest selling features, is the Photo Pass is also included in the purchase of your Maxpass.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the benefits of Maxpass, or why we liked it, Jamie.
So the first pro that I can think of is that hardly any people really know about it and utilize it. So I was actually in the park one day and I was talking about Maxpass, and the little girl turned to her mom and said, "What is Maxpass?" So people don't even know about it. They're using the old system to run around. So I feel like automatically, because people aren't using them and grabbing them, like you kind of have an advantage because you're able to just grab them quicker than at a regular rate of having to like run to the actual kiosk and get it. And you're saving a ton of park time and walking time, really.
For me, one of my favorite reasons that I just loved Maxpass, using it the whole week we were there, was just how it allowed me to plan my day and get on the most amount of rides possible. There's a lot of benefits. It's not just the fact that I don't have to physically go to the ride, but I can have multiple fast passes going at once. That's not to say you can just plan all of them all at once, but once you are basically within the 30-minute window of your ride, you can get a new one. Once you've utilized it, you can get another one.
Yeah.
And there's never more than a 90-minute window until you can actually make your FastPass selection.
Yeah.
Whereas when you just use your ticket as the FastPass, it's about a 2-hour window is kind of what you're looking at for the most part. So you are constantly getting more FastPasses, not having to go across the park, and you're getting them quicker.
Yeah, and that's so true, because I found that we had so many fast passes with the Maxpass. Like we would have even sometimes 2 or 3 in our phone ready to go loaded. And it was almost so like too many.
Well, we missed some. There were ones we didn't use. In fact, building on what you're just saying there, one of the things that was really amazing to me was we went during a week where the crowds were both high and low. So when we first got there, I think on Crowd Calendar, it was a 10 out of 10 because it was just coming off of the President's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And then through the week, it was like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. We went, because of Maxpass, on as many rides when the park was absolutely full as we did when there was only a 2 or 3 out of 10. So when you utilize the system, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what the crowds are, you are going to get on attractions.
Yeah.
The other thing, we mentioned it before, but I'm going to mention it again. One of my other favorite things is the fact that included in it is the Photo Pass. Now, this is quite similar to actually what Disney World has. When you purchase just one person in your party, only one has to purchase it. At that point, they have photographers, professional photographers, all around Disneyland, and you can go and get your family's picture taken. On top of that, when you go on rides, whether it be Space Mountain, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is Jamie's favorite new ride, when you go on those rides, they take your picture, you get that as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about MaxPass that is, again, very unique to just if you use MaxPass versus just having regular FastPass is if the ride breaks down during your selection, you will find in your phone, you will get a new FastPass selection for any ride. It just basically says go and jump on any ride. It's awesome.
Like any ride, like you could use it for even a ride without MaxPass?
No, you can use it on only FastPass rides, obviously.
Okay.
But you'll go, you can scan your thing just like you would go to the one you had scheduled it to, but pick whatever ride in the park. It's a great system.
Darn, but I can't skip that line for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
You never can get, or on Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. For me, like, I'm really cheap, so I wasn't wanting to spend another $50, $60 for our whole family of 5 or 6, because we brought grandma too, so 6, to go, you know, and spend on this upgrade. $60 a day is quite a bit of money when you think about, like, you're going to the park 5 days, right? But in all honesty, after I did it, I was like, I can't live without this. Like, it's the best, you know, like, upgrade you could really pay for. So you almost need to think about it just like you're putting this extra $10 into your tickets before you even go. Like, budget it ahead of time, so that way when you're there, you're not feeling like, oh, I have to sacrifice, like, you know, snacks or a toy for my kid, you know, because I'm spending $60 on this instead. So just try to remember to budget that ahead. I think even if you don't want to utilize MaxPass for the rides and stuff, only $10 a day for PhotoPass, if you put it even on one person's ticket, it's, even if you get 1 or 2 pictures done at the parks, it's so worth it.
It's an incredible value. You go get off one of those rides where you can purchase like a t-shirt or a keychain with it. You're looking at 15, 20, 25 bucks just for that one thing. You get every photo all through the day. For $10.
Yeah, and it's downloads really afterwards. So you can download it at home on your computer and print off as many as you want. And they're professionally done. So you could really, you can print them out in whatever size you want. They're better than probably your phone or, you know, camera quality, right, at home. For us, you know, we love Rider Swap. We're huge fans of Rider Swap at Disney World. And so we wanted to make sure to utilize that at Disneyland. It pretty much works exactly the same way. But when you have MaxPass, sometimes I found for us, with Rider Swap, it was too much, like too many older adult kind of rides. We weren't doing enough of, like, you know, the little Peter Pan and Small World, because we had so many MaxPass tickets that we were all on rides with height requirements. And so we weren't on any rides with, like, you know, just the littler rides for the little guys. So what I probably would recommend is if you are wanting to tour and do kind of a mix of the kiddie rides mixed with the thrill rides, I probably wouldn't buy MaxPass for every single person in your party. I would buy it for maybe 2, 3, like half the people in your party, and then the rest of your party, make sure to utilize Rider Swap with that. So they pretty much get on the ride still, but instead of you having double of that ride, like for us, when we did it without Rider Swap, we were going on Big Thunder Mountain twice, and then using Rider Swap twice again. So it was almost like we'd go on it 4 times in one day, which was like an hour of our time just on one ride, right? It was kind of too much, right?
Now, the positive to that is when it comes to a ride like Radiator Springs Racers, which is the most difficult ride to get on in the park, on a day that was 9 out of 10 on the crowd index, we rode it 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
So you really can, if you utilize MaxPass with Rider Swap, you can ride all of those rides that are impossible to get on a lot.
Yeah, you can. But for us, it was like too much because, you know, like we only probably needed to go on it once or twice in the day, right? Not 6 times. So I would recommend only buying it for part of your party and then the other half utilizing Rider Swap with that. And then, you get a good mix of kind of like during the downtime, and you're still going to get on plenty of adult kind of rides, thrill rides. But hey, if you're wanting to do just like you have a person who's wanting to go with baby and they're gonna just go on the little rides, you can just go on thrill ride after thrill ride, right? So
you can make it rain fast passes.
You can just go, right? So Yeah, so I would probably recommend, maybe if you're utilizing Rider Swap, consider splitting the party and only purchasing it for half. And that was actually a little tip for us to be frugal and save some money too for some of the days. So instead of us spending $60, we only bought it for half of the people, and we spent $30 and then utilized Rider Swap.
Really, the only major bummer about having MaxPass or utilizing MaxPass, besides the cost, is the fact that because you're on your phone is using up data and using up power. So you want to make sure that you're not using your phone for all sorts of other things and checking Facebook, because it will drain the battery fairly quickly depending on what kind of phone you have. At the parks, there are portable charging stations that you can rent for the day. I think they're $30 for the day, and there's rechargeable. Once you've rented it, you can get free rechargeables all throughout the day. So that's a really good system if you've got an older phone or a battery that won't last. But that's really the only negative to me. One thing to note about MaxPass is there are 2 attractions that you can't use it for.
Only 2?
Well, 2 ones that are FastPass experiences you can't use it for, Jamie.
What do you mean?
You can't use MaxPass to get yourself a pass to World of Color or to Fantasmic.
Yeah.
Those 2 are still FastPass attractions. I recommend going and getting those as soon as the park opens. But you have to still physically take your ticket, go to the kiosk station, whether in California Adventure for World of Color or in Disneyland for Fantasmic. You can't make that selection through your phone. That is one of the bummers that it's not included.
I really didn't want to use my legs for those, but there's just no way to get around it.
Using my legs like a sucker.
So is MaxPass worth it?
In our opinion, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed our little explanation on it, and have a great trip on your next Disneyland vacation. If you need help planning your next Disneyland vacation, you can email me at jamie@clickthemouse.ca, or you can go to our website, www.clickthemouse.ca/Jamie, and you can message me for a free quote. And it's totally free when you book with me, and you get all my planning services all for free.
Thank you for supporting the show. We hope that this helps you as you're planning your Disney vacations. Take a moment, like, subscribe, comment on what you think of MaxPass, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.